Welcome to the Biz Kidz Podcast. We are excited to be back with you today. If this is your first time finding us, the Biz Kidz Podcast is all about finding kids that have started businesses and celebrating their successes. And so we interview kids that have done it and have made money, and that's what it's all about. A lot of the parents that we work with tell us, hey, I want my kid to start a business, but I have no idea where to even begin on helping them get started. And so we feature kids that have already done this so you can see how they've done it to help you in the process of helping your student or your kid get started in a business for themselves and make some money. So at the we have a nonprofit called Years, which is the Young Entrepreneurs and Rising Stars. And our program is the Biz Kidz program. And we have everything from the Biz Kidz Expo to Biz Kidz Markets to the Biz Kidz Hub, which is our training center. So we give a lot of resources to kids and families so they can understand how to run a business and get it up and running. And what we always like to talk about, starting a business sometimes can be overwhelming. And so instead of looking at it as, hey, we're starting a business, look at it as we're starting a side hustle. It's not something you're going to be doing every day. You're not going to be going to the office 5 days a week and doing your business. But with your kid, it's a side hustle, something you guys do on the weekends, maybe after school, and you guys do it together and build something that your kid and your student can understand how to run a business when they're an adult. So our guest today is Derek with Derek's Doghouse. We met Derek about a year ago. He did our Biz Kidz Expo, and he came and he sold hot dogs at our event. So Derek, as I was telling you earlier, we do a 60-second pitch. Tell us about Derek's Doghouse and what you do.
So Derek's Doghouse is a hot dog cart catering business. So we do like office parties, meetings, like sports events, open houses, any like event or birthday party or anything you can hire a catering event for. And we just, instead of being like a brick and mortar, which would be harder to operate because I'm in middle school, we do catering, so it's just easier and more flexible schedule.
Awesome. And what made you get into the hot dog business? Do you just really love hot dogs and you thought, hey, this is the business I want to be in?
So originally I was always wanting to start a lemonade stand, which I think is pretty popular amongst most kids. So I wanted to make a lot of money, and lemonade stands just weren't cutting it. And I'm very picky, and hot dogs are one of the foods that I really love. I thought, oh, I can sell hot dogs, and my dad loves Portillo's hot dogs, so we kind of figured that all out, and now we're selling hot dogs.
Great. And so you guys really love the Chicago dog. So what's different about the Chicago dog versus just the regular average hot dog?
The regular average hot dog can just be a hot dog with mustard or ketchup or any of the other condiments. But a Chicago dog, you got to drag it through the garden and add mustard, relish, onions, all the other condiments that make it special.
That's great. And then you guys live in Naples, Florida, and the Portillo's, he has a house here. Have you seen his yacht? He has a $40 million yacht. He sold his hot dog business and now has a beautiful house in Port Royal and a yacht called Top Dog. Have you seen it yet?
I've only seen it in photos in like newspapers and online, but yes, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it has its own website. It's crazy. So I commend you for getting into a business that you can see will sell for a large amount, and once you grow it, who would have known that you can sell a hot dog business for so much money and be able to retire so great? So we're always looking for entrepreneurs that have those great ideas, and people like look at hot dogs and lemonade and go, can you really make a lot of money in that? Well, Portillo's showed us that you can. So what was one of the things that you would say was your biggest win in your business so far? How long have you been doing the business?
Probably since late May of last year.
And what would you say has been your biggest win so far?
My biggest win has probably been a office sports party where I made about roughly $730, which is a lot. And that's probably the biggest one with the most amount of people and everything.
And how long was the party?
The party was, I think, maybe 2 to 3 hours.
Not bad. Little revenue stream for 2 or 3 hours to make $750. So, some people work an entire week to get a paycheck for $750. So, I congratulate you on that big win. What is something that an obstacle you ran into your business that you kind of learned from? Is there anything that out there that you've done that maybe just didn't work out or things didn't go as planned?
We haven't really had anything with like hot dogs or food or any product. It's mainly been with setup and like taking everything because it's really hard to like pick it up, drain it out. And we recently got a really big metal cart and the pipeline broke while we were serving hot dogs, so we just had to keep going.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to learn in business. Sometimes you just have to figure a way to keep your customers happy and keep the ball rolling so you don't lose sales for the day. Sometimes it's so bad that you just have to shut the door and walk away. But you have to be creative. On the spot, you have to be creative. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about, is finding the obstacles and then trying to find a solution in a quick moment to keep the doors open and keep sales coming in. So at our Biz Kidz Expo, we did a competition where you submitted a video and a pitch competition, and that video got put on YouTube. And then somehow, I'm not even sure how this happened, but it ended up in the hands or at the desk of Chicago's Vienna Beef hot dog company, and they reached out to you. And tell us about that experience.
So they saw it and they reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, we saw your video. You were really cool. Do you want to?" And then they gave me a free scholarship to Hot Dog University in Chicago.
Hot Dog University in Chicago. That's great. And so, tell us. So you flew out to Chicago. How many days was the Hot Dog University?
It was 2 days in total.
Great. And what kind of things did they teach you in Hot Dog University?
They taught us how to prepare the food. They taught us how to like be nice towards customers. They taught us like all the important bases for making hot dogs.
And I'm sure when it comes to food safety, there's a lot of things you have to do to make sure your hot dogs don't go bad, and you can't just store them in the car, especially in Florida without any ice, right?
Yeah.
I would assume. And so when you got to Chicago, got to this corporate office for the first time, did you get to actually meet the CEO?
Yes, I did meet the CEO.
And what was like his experience with you? Like, what did he say? Like, from a guy that runs, I don't even know what kind of revenue they do, but I assume they're a very large company. You see Vienna Beef everywhere. What was his response to you?
His response was he thought I was just a kid there in the beginning, and then he learned that I was actually taking the course, and he thought it was really cool.
Nice. Well, I commend you on that. Like, that's awesome that you did that video. When you did that first video, or were you comfortable with your video? Did you like it yourself? Because I know we're a lot of times harder on ourselves than people are when they see us on video.
Yeah, just I was a bit nervous about posting it, but I learned that now I really should have posted, and I did. And I'm happy that I did post it.
And that's the great thing about the Biz Kidz, is what we try to do is create opportunities. But, when you share it on your social media, you never know who's going to see it. We try to bring together networking events where other kids can meet other kids and kind of make those connections and build that community. So the people you meet along the way, they could open a door for you that you didn't even realize you could open. I had 2 kids that did the program. One sold chocolate, one sold cookies. And so the one that was selling chocolate actually partnered with the one that was doing cookies and was providing them the chocolates to put in their cookies. And so you just see those partnerships that always pop up, and you just never know where those opportunities are gonna start. So do you have any other experience at the Chicago Dog? Like, did you meet other businesses that were there, like adult businesses that were like, "Hey, I want to get in the hot dog business too"? And did you talk to them, or were you the only one that went through the class?
There were other people there. I also met the second youngest person to ever go to Hot Dog University. Lincoln Dogs, and who operates out of Oz Park.
And had he been doing it very long?
Yeah, for I think a year now.
Okay. And so what do you see as the future for Derek's Doghouse? What do you want? Where do you want this business to go? What's your plan? Are you going to look at hiring employees, getting bigger, having more stands?
Probably hiring maybe one person to help me, because not all the time can my parents tow like our big cart back and forth and carry everything. So
And how many shows have you done since our expo last May? How many different events have you done? Or I know it's kind of hard to count them up right now, but would you say more than a dozen, less than a dozen?
I don't know, maybe around a dozen, yeah, maybe a bit less.
And what do you average sales wise on those? I know your big day was 700. So on an average event, what do you usually bring in?
About 200, probably.
Not a bad day to get out for a 2 or 3 hour event and make a couple $100. So, and what have you been using the funds for? Have you been reinvesting that into your business, or do you have like a budget that says this much goes back into the business, this much goes to a new Xbox game, or whatever you like?
The first couple events, they went towards the First Tee golf program, which is here in Naples, that teaches kids how to golf. And then we kind of just use funds for upgrading our business, and a bit of it went towards me to spend it on my own stuff.
That great. You always have to have the rewards. And well, we try to teach that to parents as well. When your kid is making a good amount of money on the weekend, $200 to $500 or more, putting away a little for the business to grow, but also letting them celebrate that and having them spend it on what they want to spend it on. That gives you the motivation. As a kid, I was always motivated by money. So I didn't want to go work just a job and make, minimum wage and just get a paycheck at the end of the week. I wanted to have the opportunity to sell something and make my own money and create my own experiences that way. So it sounds like you got bit by the entrepreneur bug, and it's in your blood. You want to make money. Are you looking at other products you can sell along with your hot dogs?
Maybe, we were already kind of selling hats like a couple times, but because we have a couple of really big events coming up, so maybe some chips and some water or like sodas.
Have you started, or do you sell lemonade with your hot dogs?
We did at Biz Kidz. We haven't sold any other drinks besides like maybe some sodas at a couple events, but
well, just thinking that you wanted to do a lemonade business, and then maybe adding that to the hot dogs as well as a kind of a staple, and coming up with your own recipe on the lemonade. I have a couple of young ladies that do lemonade in our program as well, and they average $1,000 at an event. And our events are usually 4 to 5 hours, but they've done events where they've made $1,000 on selling lemonade. So adding that into your hot dog business, I think could definitely bring you extra revenue, because who wants to buy a hot dog and not have a drink with it? And so if you come up with a secret recipe for lemonade, or an excellent recipe, that might help your business out. So what would you, is there any tools that you guys have found that you use for your business? Have you found an app or anything on the web that you guys use, and this helps you organize things or gets things done for you?
Right now we don't use any like apps or anything, but if we're selling hot dogs at like when we did Biz Kidz, we had an app on my dad's phone, and he had like a little square so people could swipe their cards on it, and it would just pay us, and it would pay you guys, and we do have the website which links to our social medias and all that. So
it's always good to have an alternative way for people to pay. We noticed to a lot of our events that people just don't carry cash as much anymore. So having a way to take in a credit card, and then you just factor that into your cost of your goods, that you have credit card payments to make out of that. It's going to take a percentage. So you're going to have to think about, okay, my hot dog price is this, but now if I use the credit card, they're going to take 3%. So I have to kind of factor that into my profit margin. So it's good that you use those. And so we're always seeing if you had like a special other app that maybe helped you with your inventory or anything like that to help you organize, or if you're using different social media apps to promote yourself as well. So, and then what advice would you give to any young kids that are trying to get into the go out there and start their own business?
For advice, just don't give up, keep trying even if you fail. And if something goes wrong, just keep prevailing, even if it seems like it's going terrible. Like when my cart leaked, we just kept going, even though water was going all over the floor. We just kept going and kept selling hot dogs, and that was a pretty good night for hot dogs. So,
and that's a great lesson to learn. You just keep on going and pushing through, and you continue to make sales. You still have customers there. You still have to get the food in their hands. So that's great. Have you done any outdoor events where you've gotten rained on or anything, or rained out?
No, we have not, except the last couple of weeks, or not the last couple of weeks, like a couple of weeks ago, I did an event for an art show, and it was pouring rain like the entire thing. So like barely any people came.
Were you undercover? Like
we were inside, yeah.
Oh, you were inside. Okay, yeah. Just the traffic flow wasn't that good because of the rain. Kind of helped kind of slow down the event itself. Yeah. We've run into that too, and we have markets that are outside and inside, and you just never know on that. That's something you just have to kind of plan for. Is like, what is an alternative plan that we have, or what's our emergency plan if it starts raining or we lose power? Just kind of having those in place so you know how to react the quickest and make sure that you can stay open and in business. So, well, Derek, I appreciate you taking the time to share your story. I think it's pretty cool that your video got you noticed in Chicago by the CEO of Vienna Beef, and you were able to go to the hot dog university. That I think is pretty cool for you to have that experience so young, and then the fact that you're making good money and can pay your own bills and have some fun with the extra cash. That's awesome. So congratulations to you. Thanks for being here on the Biz Kidz podcast with us. If you want to meet Derek and see his cart, I believe he's going to be out in Ave Maria, Florida. If you're in that area, he's going to be out there in the next couple weeks at our next event selling his hot dogs. So I'm excited about that. The one thing about Derek's business which is a little tougher than some of the other businesses that our kids run, is he's got to make sure his food stays warm, his other products stay cold. Whereas a lot of our kids have products that are just shelf stable. They can just sit there out in the sun all day and it's not going to hurt. So he has a bigger challenge on making sure that those things are hot and cold and that the taste is going to be great for the customer and the experience. So you have a little harder job, but obviously you figured out the system, and with the extra training that helps out a lot to make sure you're giving the best product you can. Well, thanks for joining us at the Biz Kidz podcast, and we will see you guys next time.